Hey everybody, it's the Ioniq guy. Today's video is going to be kind of cool because I was able to get my hands on the unreleased version of CCNC, the one that was supposed to be coming out at the end of January, then it got pushed to the end of February, and now there's really no date being said by Hyundai on their update website. Now this update includes some really awesome changes to the route planning system, and we're gonna go over them in today's video, and I'm gonna demonstrate them for you. So if you guys wanna see what changes are coming to CCNC for Ioniq 5, Kona Electric, EV9, and a lot of other EVs from Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis, then stay tuned. So let's go ahead and take a look at these new settings. So we will go to Setup, and then we will go to Navigation. Now, when we go to Guidance, what we're going to see is one for EV Route Planner. We will click on that. Here you will see the new settings in this future update. Minimum state of charge to the charging station goes from anywhere from 10 to 25%, so you can arrive with a little bit more battery if that's what you want to do. I don't like doing that. I want to arrive at the lowest state of charge possible, which is 10%. And then the next setting, minimum state of charge to the destination, that can be from 10% all the way up to 40%. So if you want to, say, get to a destination and then immediately drive somewhere else, you need some more battery, you can do that. You will notice the scrolling here is a little kind of not sensitive. You can see I'm kind of struggling to click and drag. You can just kind of push along those sliders as well. I do hope that will be improved by the time the official release comes out. So what we will do now is we will go to search, and let's just search and see what a trip to Seattle would look like. Kind of like the I-90 surge that I did last September. So we'll pick Seattle, hit route. This is probably going to be a long one because it is a very far drive. So it says available charging stations are automatically updated while driving. So if it senses that you have better efficiency than it originally thought, it will push your next charging stop out. We'll just hit OK there. So here you can kind of see an overview. Now, obviously, it's not going to tell you every charging stop because your efficiency is going to change based on weather, terrain, your driving speed. All those factors kind of come into play here. But you can see it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 charging stops. The first one is pretty close by. I'm going to arrive with 25% and then charge to 77%. It estimates 16 minutes. The next charging stop, 10 to 78% in 18 minutes. Third stop, 10 to 80% in 19 minutes. And the fourth and final stop that is currently planned, arrive with 6% and go up to 80% in 20 minutes. So you can see it is actually going a little bit below 10%, which is fine because there's probably no other charging stops available out here, which in Western PA I know is probably the case. I just did this drive a few months ago. So we'll just start guidance.
The route guidance will start now.
And then if you click on this little pill-shaped menu down there, you can see your first charging stop. I hate that you always have to scroll to the bottom for the first charging stop. I really think this whole screen should be flipped, but Hyundai doesn't seem to agree with me. So you have to scroll down to see that first one, which is the Auburn Mall. Then the Walmart in Newburgh, New York. That one's always busy. I hate stopping at that one. The next one is the EV Go station. So you can see it planned a pretty good route. I mean, these are probably logically all the ones that I would stop at. Right now, I've got 140 miles of range. Instead of stopping at the Auburn Mall, I probably would have gone to the Manchester, Connecticut EA station or East Hartford or Berlin. But either way, it's picking good chargers, good fast chargers. You can see along the left-hand side here, they're all 350s. They may be split power stations, so if somebody else is there, you'll only get probably 175 kilowatts, but still not too bad. So you can see here we've got some more buttons on the bottom. So we have route options. We'll click that. You can see it just takes a really long time to load up a long route like this. So here's where you can turn on or off whether you want charging stops in your route. So if you're just doing a drive and you don't want charging stations added, you can just click that off. But this little settings dial there is where you will go ahead and be able to change those previously mentioned settings. So if you are on the drive and you decide, you know what, I want to arrive at my destination a little bit higher, we'll turn that up to 30%. This isn't the best example for that because it's not planning the last stop. We'll kind of do a shorter drive and see what it does there. But let's just turn this up to, say I want to be a little more conservative and I want to arrive at charging stations with 15%. So we'll go back. It's going to think some more. So we'll hit start guidance.
The route guidance will start now.
Click on that. And now we can see most of our charging stops are closer to 15%. Okay, so what it did here is it basically turned up the charging level for that first charging stop up to 80%. And then for the next charging stop, we arrive with a little bit more buffer. So basically all it was doing was telling you to only charge to 77% instead of 80%. It's going to add maybe a minute tops just to get that little bit of buffer. So then we arrive in Newburgh, New York with 13%. And it looks like it's all the same chargers. The next one's that Sheetz. And then actually the next one is a EA station in Dubois, Pennsylvania. I stopped on that one on my road trip back with this car. So yeah, 15, 13, 13. Then that first one is still a little high. Let's plan a shorter route where it does have us going to our final destination. So let's go to search. Let's go down to Ocean City, Maryland. That's where me and my family vacationed when we were kids. Ocean City, Maryland. Plan a route. That should be about probably 2 charging stops. Okay, so 3 charging stops.
The route guidance will start now.
Click on that. And so first charging stop, same 25 to 80%. Bank of America in Fort Lee, New Jersey. Next one is the WAYYYY in Delaware at Newcastle. And you can see those are both close to 15% arrival. And then here you can see we arrive in Ocean City with 30% state of charge. So that's perfect. Calculated everything out very nicely. This is a huge improvement over the previous system where you had zero control over any of this. It would basically just plan the route in one way and you couldn't really alter it. Obviously, you could plan your own charging stops. You could drive past the stop it's telling you to if you know you can go a little bit further, and it will reroute. But it's just nice to be able to get in the car, look at the plan, kind of know where you're going, and be on your way. So you do have some more control over what the navigation system does. Say you bring up your DC charging level to 90%, which I don't recommend you do. 80% is going to be the top level that you would really want to charge at because after that it really slows down. Let's kind of do the opposite. Let's bring it down to 50%, go back into our map, and what we'll do is we will reroute and see what it now does. Now that we're not going to be charging to 72%, 70%. So now instead of 3 charging stops, we have 4. The first one, 6 minutes. Next one, 8 minutes. Next one, 8 minutes. Okay, interesting. So it's saying unknown for what state of charge we will arrive in Ocean City with. That's because it needs to plan one last charging stop there on the end. So let's change our destination to, I don't know, Newcastle, Delaware. Okay, so now that we are within the allotted 4 charging stop range, you can now see it says we'll arrive in Newcastle with 30%. We'll stop and charge to 50% at all the other stops. 6 minutes, 8 minutes, 8 minutes, 7 minutes, and then we arrive. So it's doing a good job. This feature, to me, really needs to be put onto all the other EVs that were made prior to CCNC or CCIC, the Genesis GV60, the EV6, Ioniq 5, Ioniq 6, 22 through 24 model years, 2021 if you're outside of the US. I really think it would be doing those owners an injustice by not giving them this. So there you have it, guys. Those are the changes. I really can't wait for this update to come out. I really think this is a crucial setting for making route planning that much easier for kind of EV novices, and even for people who've been driving EVs for years. It's really nice to not have to think about it, just get in the car and plan a route. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed for all of you. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because when these updates do come out, I'll be going over all the changes coming. Fingers crossed too that they'll be adding a battery conditioning button to the Gen 5W for 21 through 24 Ioniq 5. Check out my store at ioniqi.com for accessories for your Hyundai, Kia, or Genesis EV. I've got a lot of them right now. Consider becoming a channel member for as little as 99 cents per month. For $3 per month, you can gain early access to all these videos, as well as a 5% discount to my store or my Etsy shop. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.